What's up, Starcraft fans? They were doing the tier list for Real of Stupid on Minor Evacuation. So, Brian, let us hear about the mutation.
Minor Evac is the map where we have to fight our way to the evac ships, and defend them from the infested as they launch. We have to successfully defend 5 ships to win. On brutal difficulty, we lose the game if we lose more than 1 ship. Random mutators cycle in for over 4 minutes, and then cycle out for a new one. There are 3 active at a time, and a mutator switches every 90 seconds.
Alright, so we have Tutu and Stikbender at the call today. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. Yeah, I'm also good this time. Pretty happy about my work this day. Anyway, so Tutu, how are you gonna rank commanders this week?
This is basically, since you don't know what mutators you're going to get, it's general mutator resilience plus how well they do on vanilla minor evac.
Yes. Anything else to add, Stikbender? I agree. Alright, let's begin. Abathur, what do we have him?
Alright, Abathur, he's pretty resilient against most mutators, and he has a slow start though. So
True.
once you get the ultimate evils, like the mid game, he'll be fine. And also his deep tunnel helps clearing the top right structures, because you want a full clear just in case there are mutators that involve buildings. So yeah, so he's okay. So I put him in B.
Okay. I actually lost a game with Lila playing as Abathur. Can you believe that? I think I already told you about this. So we got COVID the first time, and then it cycled out, so he got his ultimate evolutions, and then we got COVID again. And then like everything just happened. Like we also had void animators because we didn't have time to clear the rifts or the buildings. We also had void rifts. We also had mineral shields. I think it was also slim pickings, polarity, all that stuff. Anyway, so how about you, Stikbender?
Yeah, I'd say Abathur's a pretty solid option. I'm still kind of surprised that you guys actually did get eaten there, because I would have expected you would have been fine by the power vested in Vipers.
No, we didn't cheese. We didn't. Yeah, and
No, not cheese. Just you park Vipers
Disabling
behind the
Cloud?
ship. You cast Blinding Cloud. Disabling Cloud.
It's we got the second COVID about 8 minutes in, so we didn't really have a real army to speak of, because we got COVID, polarity, mineral shields. Our economy didn't really take off at any point.
It doesn't
in the first
help
game.
when you basically had at that point like made the conclusion like, yeah, we're going to assume that we're going to be completely fine with COVID from now on, and we're going to be able to make ultimate evolution. Oh,
So anyway, both of you say B.
yeah, B works.
All right. Alarak, where do we have him?
Alarak, he's really good. Because of how Alarak's healing works against infested, you have an unkillable Giga Hero unit who will just be able to tank literally everything ever.
No, not literally everything. I had like 4 abs, a couple hybrid banshees. Yeah, not literally everything. Basically everything, but not literally everything.
Yes. Well, kill more things then. And then he'll be able to tank everything else. Anyways, but the big thing is, yes, you have Alarak for that. You have your mothership, which is really good on this map. You can make destroyers, which is the easy, cheap way of doing it.
Except when you have COVID.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I've said it before. You can easily solo a ship with just Alarak, mothership, and structure overcharge.
Yes.
So even if you get COVID, you don't lose. You really don't. You can lose all your army and you can be fine. Your hero units can handle everything pretty comfortably by themselves. You can just ignore so many mutators by just being able to instantly wipe the entire infested swarm in 2 destructive waves, and they can't ever get close to you because of, destructive wave. Yeah, good tankiness, high, massive AoE, doesn't even need a lot of units, but you have money to make units anyways.
Yes, except when cloaked reanimators kill your base. With void rifts, by the way. Void rifts, cloaked reanimators, COVID, polarity, everything.
Yeah.
Basically everything.
Yes, lots of bad things can happen to you, but at least only 3 mutators of those can happen at a time.
Yes.
Anyways, if Alarak isn't the S tier for this week, I don't know who is. It's minor evacuation with Alarak.
Okay, how about you, Tutu?
I think he's really strong, but I think his mutator resistance is a little bit worse than
Stet
some
boy.
of the other ones. Yeah.
Zeratul.
Yeah, so I put him in A because yes, he is really strong on minor evac, but then like there's certain ones, and if there's a combination of them, he's just like doesn't do much.
Okay.
Or like all his army might just disappear, and sometimes it's like, yeah, Alarak's alive, but then his whole army's gone, and then that will be. It's like
You don't need his
I don't know.
army.
Is
Unlike
yeah,
Stetmann, who kinda can't just Gary alone.
yeah, so I put him in A.
Yeah, I'm okay with either A or S. He's really good. I'm okay with A or S because I know that I've seen that there are some combinations where just Amon just says no. Like I don't know. If Lilo's Abathur and my Alarak in the same game couldn't do it, I don't. maybe I just played bad that game. Anyway, so Stixbender, you have to convince Tutu that Alarak's an S. I'm okay with S, but you have to convince Tutu.
To be honest, I feel like for the most part, aside from Polarity plus Void Rift or Reanimators or Propagators or something like that with Polarity, which is already kind of stupid by itself, or Speed Propagators, which is stupid for pretty much every single commander in the game.
Yes.
Except ironically Abathur. Or Double-Edged. Yes, those will mess up Alarak. Can you care to tell me who's not getting messed up by those things aside from Double-Edged, which is Alarak specific?
You mean double-edged polarity speed poops?
Yeah, things like speed poops and polarity.
You can't have 4 things.
No. Double-Edged is separate. Double-Edged is a separate thing where Alarak, if he gets Double-Edged by itself, literally nothing else, that by itself is, oh no, I have to go take a 2-minute break.
Zagara with Banelings.
Yeah, no, lots of commanders are fine against Double-Edged. Double-Edged is the only one that was Alarak specific. Speed poops.
If you get speed poops, you just play again. You know.
Yeah, just play again.
Just take the L.
But I'm not. You know, I don't feel too bad about Alarak and A. We can promote to S later if no one else is an S. A is still really good.
I feel like Fatal Attraction will mess him up a little bit.
A little bit.
Moment of silence.
The correct term.
Moment of silence. Fear.
Those aren't available here. I have a list.
Oh, Moment of Silence not available. I didn't know that.
Oh,
there's no Power Overwhelming, which is another one of Alarak's weaknesses. But there's no Power Overwhelming.
Nice. Fear is here, right?
No fear.
No fear. Okay, so yeah.
This is on Maguro's site, so the ones available in Chaos Studios doesn't include Power Overwhelming or Fear.
I'm okay with either A or S. The verdict is if it's not unanimous, it's not S. So it doesn't look like we could convince Tutu for now. So A is not bad. A is still really good.
My A list is pretty overcrowded, so he'd probably be the first one to go up if it comes to that.
Sure, we'll come back to it later. Arcturus, where do we have him?
He has bunkers and ESOs. So if there are bad environmental mutators, then the ESOs will do a lot of work. And sometimes even with the environmental mutators, you can still leave them around. Like a lava burst, you just hope that the lava burst doesn't hit your bunkers. But yeah, I think like if there are 2 environmental mutators or something, like if you have nothing from the ship, you might lose it. So
yeah,
you still need something there.
Enemies can right click it.
Yeah. So I put him in A, not higher.
How about you, Stixbender?
Yeah, I suppose ACU is pretty solid for Manx. I'm a tiny bit concerned about how fast most people will get it done with Manx, but to be honest, the reality is Manx has the potential to be a lot faster than most commanders, so A just makes sense, to be honest.
All right.
Yeah. It also clears the map.
Yeah, that's true. Our
map is good.
Artanis, where do we have him?
All right, Artanis. So sadly, it is Artanis on an infested map. You all know what that means. It means suffering. Artanis is actually worse at this map than he is at Dead of Night. That's not great news here for Artanis. Just the fact that Artanis' speedrun until relatively recently on this map was only 2 minutes faster than the absolute slowest you can complete the map without failing the main objective. Because he was barely able to win at all.
Interesting.
With no mutators. Let's consider what that means for how bad he's going to do when there are mutators.
Randomized mutators, that. So how bad is it?
The question is it as bad as Zagara? Because if it is as bad as Zagara, he's an F tier. If it is not, he is an E tier.
Okay, so is it as bad as Zagara?
I don't know. Probably.
Zagara P2, that is.
Zagara's one thing going for her. She can hit from the natural safely.
I was thinking Zagara has another thing going for her. At least there are quite a few mutators that her banelings can take care of that Artanis can't, but the reality is her banelings won't be able to handle the ship at all, so you're not going to really use banelings that much. Never mind, no. Yeah, he's probably better than Zagara.
So E?
Probably.
How about you, Tutu?
Yeah, with random mutators, I think, at least when I play Artanis in later games, I use cybercore walls, and that doesn't really work if there are environmental mutators.
Yes.
They're gonna get wrecked by lava burst or going nuclear or blizzard. One of those.
Or two of those, or three of those at the same time.
Yeah. Or even orbital strike will just mess them up.
Yes.
So
Purifier beam.
Yeah, I think E is okay.
All right, unanimous. Dehaka, where do we have him?
Dehaka. P2 is just so good. So P2 is really good. The one pack leader can hold, and you can have like guardians hovering around the ship. So you can avoid like Scorched Earth or whatever the ground units. I think that would be the safest bets. It's just guardians, a few creeper hosts, and then P2. It's pretty resistant to a lot. He's resistant to a lot of these mutators. So I put him in A.
Okay, how about
half the mutators is a good skill to have.
Yes.
Literally, like, the fact that pack leaders just literally ignore half the mutators is kind of good. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, A, to be honest, makes sense for Dehaka. He's really quite...
Without prestige, still A?
Here. Probably. You still have pack leaders, even if it's not, like, perpetual pack leader.
Okay. Fenix, where do we have him?
Fenix. He is meh, honestly. Like, I'm really, like, trying to figure out, like, what to specifically say here, because with the general Wheel of Stupid, he has Colossi and Keldalis and whatnot, so he has plenty solid infested killing tools. He's got his champion spam to be mutator resilient. If you want to be a little more mutator resilient, instead of going for P2, you go for P1 or 3 or something, and then you can have mass carrier, mass colossus adapt as a backup plan or something. You can have turbocharged Phoenix suit as well as backup plan.
So where does that land him?
I don't know. Is he probably like... I'd say he's C because I think he's generally power level lower than Abathur here, but that's about all I can really say.
Okay. How about you, Tutu?
I don't think he's good. I don't think he's that bad. He's like in the middle.
So C.
Around. It's like I put him in B, but like I don't have any problems with him in C.
Okay. That's good enough for me. Phoenix C. Han and Horner, where do we have him?
Han and Horner. I don't even know which. I think you probably would use prestige, first prestige, just earlier game.
Yeah, try to win a early game.
Yeah, the mag mines are good. So like the quick arming is really good. They're not good other than that. And they don't really have anything going for them. It's similar to Artanis, which is you get messed up so badly by a lot of these mutators. So E.
All right. How about you, six bender?
I would say they're vastly better than Artanis, but still D.
Vastly
Just
better.
vastly better than Artanis.
You think?
Yes. Having their AoE from Landed Vikings, their Hitscaran, and AoE from Reapers. Hellions being able to slow and reduce range on the infested, making it so that the infested are going to do less walking up and being able to nibble you, and also more importantly, those guys being able to just rip apart aberrations.
Okay. So
Dragoons are decent and all, but like I think I would rather have Han and Horner than Artanis here.
Is D okay for you, Tutu?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
I think Hellbats are
good
probably
too.
better than all of them. I would just mass Hellbats.
Sounds good.
I wouldn't go pure Hellbat because then you're gonna lose too.
I would mix in like Hellions for the enemy slow. I would mix in Reapers to blow them up. Also for anti-air.
I would just go Reaper. I would just go Reaper Hellion, and then I would get the Hellbat upgrades. So in case of emergency, my Hellions can cast self-destruct by turning into Hellbats.
That's funny. All right, Karax, where do we have him?
Karax. So Cybercore Walls and Solar Lance are your best friends. Colossi and Carriers are also pretty solid. Karax is going to be a pretty good option because of the fact that the Spear of Adun doesn't care about mutators.
It does not.
Being able to just not care about mutators like that with the Spear of Adun is it's nice.
It is.
That's quite nice. He honestly could go in A with the power of building good and Spear of Adun good. Buildings are very much mutator resilient for the most part, typically. Like a lot of mutators just don't work on buildings.
Yes.
And he has strong units he can make, but honestly, you're probably going to primarily just be like, I make buildings, I click space lasers that ignore your shenanigans, and I'm good.
Yes.
Ironically, his biggest problem becomes the 1-point mutator of evasive maneuvers.
You think he's A?
Yes.
Okay, how about you, Tutu? Agree with A?
Yeah, I just think he doesn't get higher than A for me just because the environmental mutators might mess up his buildings, and if you have nothing at the ship, then you're gonna lose it. So
yes.
If you lose vision or something, because your buildings or something all got burned or blasted by something.
Yeah.
Like if you're relying on buildings and suddenly going nuclear hits, then you're just like,
oops, I'm dead.
I'm in trouble.
All right.
So yeah.
Without
recommendation, go and stick an observer behind the ship in siege mode, because that area is unpathable terrain for pretty much all the ships, and unpathable terrain is invalid for environmental mutators to center themselves on, even if going nuclear can center itself on the very edge and clip your observer. You have Unity Barrier to protect against that, so you should be able to keep vision at least that way. Will it be enough to save the ship? Not necessarily, but at least you'll keep vision that way, so you and your ally can both keep desperately spamming top bar to keep the ship alive.
Without prestige, still A?
Probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah. Honestly.
Okay. Kerrigan, where do we have her?
Kerrigan, she's pretty good against infested, and lasers zap everything. The lasers from her body, from her arms, pretty good. Omega worm walls are good.
I've never heard Zap Kerrigan referred to as lasers before, by the way. I would call it lightning, but sure, lasers. Yeah, it's called lasers.
She has body lasers.
Body lasers.
Here are my body lasers.
Alright, so Zap Kerrigan and worms. What else?
Lurkers, Brood Lords, or Ultralisks are all I think they're all okay.
Solid. Yeah.
Solid. So I put her in A.
Yeah. Another thing I like about Kerrigan is that she has fast clearing. Kerrigan is fast at clearing. Even with Zerglings, whatever units you have, and Kerrigan herself, you can invalidate a lot of the annoying ones, like Void Reanimators, I guess later on Walking Infest can be annoying. Poopigators, definitely annoying, yeah. How about you?
I said A.
Yeah, how about you, Sixbender?
Yeah, she could be A.
Alright.
Just as good as worm walls and Kerrigan here unit are, I feel like there's a few too many mutators that'll make her run into problems with the fact that her units are very not mutator resilient.
That's true.
I would say I feel like she's more on par with Abathur personally.
So you think B?
Yeah.
Even if her units are that strong, like I said, the fact that you can cancel out Poopagators, Void Reanimators, Outbreak
by full clearing, you mean?
By full clearing, yeah.
Yes, but I mean technically Abathur can do that too.
Sure.
You can. Just because things went incredibly wrong for you.
And Lila, by the way.
Yes. I'm surprised that this happened. This is...
Yeah, I can't really describe how bad it was. We got, in the first 10 minutes, we got 2 COVIDs, Polarity, Mineral Shields, I think also microtransactions, Slim Pickings. And then later on we got Cloaked, Void Reanimators, 2 sets of Void Rift spawns. Oh man.
That's just very bad luck.
That's just very bad luck. We were able to hold on. I actually almost won it with Alarak. That's why I kind of agree with Alarak and S. We almost won it, but like my base got completely destroyed. I didn't have an overcharge, and even when I did, the cloaked reanimators. Oh man. Anyway, yeah. So Kerrigan and B. I think Kerrigan's actually an A because of the full and Kerrigan on her own can actually just keep the enemies, at bay just by zapping them. And she also has worms to hide into. She can also do immobilization wave. She can also do the life leech thing. How adamant are you about B, Stickbender?
Not very.
Alright. I shall have my will. Kerrigan A. There we go. Nova.
She did it. So Nova is... I mean, she's certainly not bad. She has Shotgun Nova and Liberators and Siege Tanks with Spooter Mines to cover against double-edged and whatnot. If you get a Mutator which just says your army no longer exists now, then have fun trying to get a new army.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like the problem is basically just like, and then you lose your army, and then
we get COVID.
It's like, and then, well, it's been nice knowing you all. We are dead.
Or you could just keep reviving Nova until the ship launches, and then stall until you have an army. I don't know. I feel like
yeah, the problem is that you can't really ever remake that army, but yeah, you can stall until you have something, and you can keep reviving Nova to try to hold the ship, or more accurately, you should probably just like say Nova, shotgun, 5 defense drones.
Yes,
come at me,
that's the whole plan. I thought there was an agreement that was the whole plan. The units just clear the map, and Nova just defends the ship with maybe a couple of Liberators at the back, maybe a couple of Ravens. I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway,
pretty much. The point is, if your army dies, yeah, you can do things. It's just you can do less things than you would like.
True. Still a lot of things, though.
Yeah, it's still a lot of things. So, yeah, I guess you can go in A as well. This is gonna just be like everyone's in A except for a couple commanders where it's like, that commander is less good.
Yeah. How about you, Tutu?
They go down there in the bad kid's chair.
It's just because most commanders are good. Like the A commanders are good against like all but like 1 or 2.
Yes.
And so like that same goes for Nova. Like if you just have like mild
weaknesses,
like even environmental mutators or something, like nothing. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I put her in A because she's really strong.
Jimmy, where do we have him?
Raynor. I think he's pretty good on minor evac. But he's not good against the
any mutator basically. Mutators. I don't know any mutator Raynor's good at. Mutators were designed to destroy Raynor.
Well, like some of them are just like annoying, but there's some that just wreck him completely. So they're like if you get like Twister or something, it's not a big deal. Purifier Beam's not a big deal.
Even
True.
double-edged is like Raider's actually one of the better commanders to deal with double-edged. Right, he can do something.
All right, so where do we have
Let's
him?
see. So where's the D?
Solid D. How about you, Sticksbender?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Does it matter which prestige you use?
Not really.
No, is D still kind of? All right. Stetboy, where do we have him?
Stetmann, he's good. He's Stetmann. He has tanky because you cast Green Zone and then your stuff just refuses to die ever.
Yeah.
That's the summary. Is that behold the power of green. I don't die anymore.
Yes.
And then he just kind of moves on with his
For the
life
most
with
part.
Zerglings and Gary. Zerglings don't care about a lot of the like big environmental explosions because it's like, oh no, giant explosion. Anyways, 10 damage.
All right. So where do you have him?
He's probably a candidate for S. I don't feel that he's stronger than Alarak personally, like at all. But regardless of this fact, I still have to agree that he is a very strong commander here.
How about you, Tutu?
His only weakness is Propagator.
Yes!
You can full clear. And you can full clear.
Literally, one of my videos is titled Stetmann has only one weakness. And that is Poopagators. And guess what mutator we got when I played Stetboy?
No!
Early poops! There was no way I could full clear it within like 5 minutes while defending the first ship.
The early poops are not like there's only one. You could easily just kill it.
Yes.
Especially this P2. So
but
by the time poops are threatening, you should have full cleared this map.
Not when I forgot what the exact circumstance, but I think I was trying to kite my poop and I misclicked once.
And then the game ended.
No, the game didn't end. The game didn't end. I just had to stall until Gary revived.
Oh no!
So we still won it. We still won it.
Just make him again.
I still think Stetboy's an S. That was my mistake
I put him in S because he has one weakness, but early props not a big deal. Late props you should have full cleared. So
yes. All right. Yeah. There we go. Unanimous. I actually think do you guys prefer P2 Stetboy or P3 for the Ultralisk?
For this map, P3 is probably at least it's usable. So if you're sick of using P2,
yeah, if you're tired of using P2, but every time I play with minor evac as Super Gary, I always use P3, so I kind of went for P2 this time. So anyway, side story over. Stukov, where do we have him?
Stukov is if you go P1 Diamondbacks or open with Diamondbacks, then mass tanks is really strong, but then like environmental mutators, his tanks are basically like buildings because you have to see if you siege them. Pretty much buildings.
They have 18 range too, by the way.
Yeah, if you use P3, like your infested will come from a different angle from the ship, so you have nothing in front of the ship. That means you got to put tanks there, or you should put barracks there. So he's all right, I think. Environmental mutators mess up the trail of infested though. Yeah, so I put him in B.
Okay, how about you, Sticksbender?
I would have thought he was a little lower than that in C, but I can see B as well. His infested are simultaneously great mutator resilience from the fact that they you don't really care that much if they die, and yet terrible mutator resilience because of just the fact that the environmental mutators just really mess up the entire infested terrain, especially on this map where it's like you can't go around very easily because it's all like narrow snaking passageways.
Yes.
And to be honest, you can brute force through most of the
just replace them.
You can brute force through most environmental mutators on a lot of maps. Less so on this map, but there's one environmental mutator you cannot brute force through, one single "you are dead" mutator, and that is if you encounter
Your fire beam.
Yeah, pure fire beam. Yes. My brain froze and it was just like,
I got you,
loading.
fam. All right.
Oh, I thought. Well, transmutation.
Transportation also, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
There,
bad too.
yeah.
That's
The
an
two
environmental
mutators
mutator.
that
The
Stukov was
environmental
weak
mutator
against.
that messes you up.
Transportation and poops. If you go for bunker style, those are two that you kind of need to build up against. Anyway, so I actually thought that I would go P0 here for Stukov and just have bunkers at the ships.
Yeah, I'd agree.
When they get targeted by a nuke, I remember you can uproot them, and they might be able to tank one nuke. I forgot.
Uprooting doesn't change their health. It's just you might be able to uproot and try to be like, get to the quarter, get to the quarter.
I think the nuke does more damage to buildings. That's why uprooted bunkers, considered as units, can tank a nuke. I remember it working that way years ago.
I thought that was only standard like ghost nuke and not mutator nuke, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh wait, that might be the case. I don't quite remember what actually happened, but I remember when I got told before that when I'm getting nuked, uproot the bunkers so that they can tank it. That it might have been a ghost nuke. It might have been a ghost nuke.
I think that's only ghost nuke, but I might be wrong.
It's I don't know. I'm okay with A or B. C. I guess I'm also okay with C. You can be anywhere in those. So do we put him in B or C?
I'd say he's in C.
C. Not as good as Abathur.
Not as good as Abathur.
I would say
not as
at
reliable
least.
as Abathur.
I would say at least that when things are good, when you get good rolls for Stukov, they're really good because you can just brush everything aside. So, but are there any objections to C? I have no objections to B, by the way.
I have no strong objections to C.
All right, let's have Stukov and C. Sorry, Swann. Where do we have him?
He has a laser drill, which cares very little about everything. He has buildings which are pretty good. He has tanks which are pretty terrible. That's about what I could say for Swann. He's got a lot of very just decent tools, and he has one very strong tool that is a laser drill, but it's kind of just, I don't know, I feel like he's B just because it's like,
because he's blonde. He's B because he's blonde. So of course it's B.
Because what does he have to put him in A? Because if you're just laser drill soloing, unfortunately the infested like to come from two sides at once. Literally, they have two sides of the ship that they like to spawn on. So it's like, you're gonna need to have buildings, and the problem with Swann buildings, unlike Karax buildings, is that you have to actually keep SCVs alive.
Can't you just have tanks in Hercules to kind of buffer?
You can, and that's not completely terrible. It's not great. Don't fool yourself. Swann's tanks are actually not that good. Let it be known. Swann's tanks are not that good.
Yeah, where do you have them?
I feel like he's kind of B, to be honest.
How about you, Tutu?
I put him in A just because he's similar to Karax, except instead of a Sphere of Doom, he has a laser. So
kind of like bad Karax, but not quite bad.
But not like, because his AoE turrets are better than Karax's.
That's true. So he does have turrets.
In that sense, yeah, the Flaming Betties are better, so it kind of like evens out.
I also like how the Flaming Betties in particular kind of ignore Scorched Earth. Their hitbox is smaller than what's required to get hit. So I like that, but
yeah, having to keep SCVs around though, or like needing to multi-build kind of sucks.
Yeah,
because it's like you're always one random stray AoE mutator from just being like, and now I have no SCVs. We've lost.
Yeah. Echo Mutators kind of hurts Swann more, I think, because economic mutators like mineral shields, the slim pickings, because he kind of acquires. I guess you could say the same for Karax as well, though. Yeah.
Depends when you get hit by them, though.
True. Environmental mutators, yeah, the environmental mutators hurt Swann more because he needs multi-build to keep up with the production of buildings. You can salvage the buildings, though. Something that can't be said for Karax. So I can get your full investment back.
So, and if you use P2 for stronger turrets, you have concentrated beam and pulse cannon.
Do you prefer top bars on this map in particular? I thought that having splash laser seems like the superior choice for this map.
I usually use P2 because I use
better
I use a pulse
better
cannon
turrets.
to clear a whole area. Because what else am I gonna? I usually use that to clear a whole area, so I can like get in there to build turrets.
That makes sense. So that second prestige would put him in A, because yeah, he can clear the whole area, and I guess he can also full clear with the laser or whatever units you have. Even the bots in full clear, have maybe a couple of rates flying around to full clear. Not sure how advisable that is.
To the corner.
Yeah, that can work too. Yeah, this was a little harder. I see the case for both A and B. Like looking at where he stacks up against the A guys. Yeah, he can do it, but not quite with the same ease as with guys like Alarak, Kerrigan, Dehaka.
So,
but
because A is too crowded, he goes to B.
A's too crowded, he goes to B. Sorry, Swann. Oh man, I feel like we're being mean to Swann. Oh well. Do you have strong objections to A, Stickspender?
Yeah, kind of. I don't really.
They have strong objections to B, Tutu.
Not really, because the SCV thing is the big thing. It
Yeah.
matters.
Yes.
All right, there it is. He's Swann again. There we go. Tychus, where do we have him?
Tychus, I put him in S because you play normally, pretty much.
True. That's
like,
true.
Whatever mutator, you just play. Even like double edge, if you had like a double edge is one of them. You kind of have to slow down so you don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
But like Black Death, you probably have Rattlesnake, and you just keep going. Avenger, you just keep going.
Which prestige do you like for Tychus here? I like P3 because
P3,
they have the extra.
P3.
The Odin.
Yeah, Odin for the whole ship.
Yeah. How about
Odin
you?
Plus Rattlesnake field. It's just like he doesn't die.
How about you, Sixbender?
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
Yeah. He seems good.
Cool. Vorazun, where do we have him?
Anyway, Vorazun suffers of Black Death panic, but a lot of people die of Black Death. It's just Vorazun dies harder.
She takes her ally with her.
I'll take you down with me. She is. So honestly, she's not that great on infested maps either. Like, she's not Artanis, and she's not even Jimmy and Hunter Horner, but I feel like that's what I could say for her, so I would put her in C.
All right. How about you, Tutu?
So her best plan doesn't work if there are environmental mutators, which is you use you use the dark pylon wall.
Yeah.
And then you just because the detection on this map is very minimal. So especially the first 3 ships, I don't think even have hybrids that have detection.
Cool.
It's pretty much the last 2 ships that you have to like time stop snipe the fat guy and
The
then
fat guy.
snipe the fat guy and then just do nothing again. You don't even have to fight. You just sit there. But you can't do that if there are environmental mutators destroying your wall.
Snipe the
So
fat
then
guy.
you can't rely on that. Then you just kind of meh. But hey, they can't see you, so that's good.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
fat guy. We still love you.
Yeah, I put her in C.
C. All right, unanimous. Without prestige, still C.
Probably still C.
Okay. Zagara. Where?
Zagara. I wouldn't put her in, I wouldn't say that she's in, I didn't put her in F. So she's bad on this map and she's not very mutator resistant, but like she's not good. So she doesn't like actively hurt the ally by existing, and she's not completely useless, so I put her in E.
Okay. How about you, Sixbender?
You say she doesn't completely hurt her ally. It's like, I mean, she kind of does though, but not. I mean, the problem is there's a lot of mutators you could roll where suddenly Zagara almost is a detriment. Like maybe not quite a detriment unless it's propagators, or transmutation. But like, it almost feels like with how much trouble she's going to have, even with easier mutators, it almost feels like to me she's more likely to end up rolling I help Amon than end up rolling I actually am useful for the ally. So
kind of true.
Kind of true. I would say that Zagara here feels to me like a top bar. Like when the ally, help! I need help! Roll the banelings! Alright, I'm gonna bank more time. I'm gonna bank my energy again.
Yes, it's like, alright, I have rolled the banelings. Now what? Now,
I'm back. See you next ship. I'm gonna bank more banelings. But that doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt the ally. That helps.
Okay, and then right as your banelings are flooding in, Amon rolls transmutation, and suddenly you've created a bunch of hybrid.
No, the banelings don't create hybrid. Come on. The banelings connect. The banelings connect before transmutation.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. If you hit a volatile infested, then the volatile infested blowing up your baneling counts as an attack. So even if it blows up and dies, it still transmutates, just like how Amon's banelings will still transmutate when they explode.
And then whenever it transmutates, it transmutates to a tier 1 unit, which is a marine, and then gets killed by the next baneling, or the splitter. Yeah. Come on.
Okay, but the banshees. Okay. Yeah.
Fly the scourge. I don't know. I don't agree with F either. So it's not unanimous either way. So.
I think you should use P2. I think P2 is good on this map.
I agree.
All right. So E.
P2 Corruptors out heal Black Death.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yes, I have discovered this. We've solved this fact.
All right. So E.
Yeah. The problem with that was when I played with CTG, my Corruptors didn't die, but then when they even after Black Death cycled out,
they still had COVID.
They still had COVID, so when they died, they spread it.
Yeah.
Wait, no. What's supposed to happen is when it cycles out, they stop spreading it, but they don't cleanse it.
Really?
Unless it cycled back before your Corruptors died.
Oh, really?
You're really unlucky.
I didn't know that. Oh well. Anyway, so E for Zagara?
That's what happens with it. Is it doesn't, when it cleans up Black Death, it doesn't stop it from existing. It just stops it from spreading.
Okay, so E for Zagara?
Everybody who's not infected gets vaccinated.
E for Zagara?
Yeah.
All right. Zeratul, where do we have him?
A tier. Their cannon's good. Zeratul hearing it good. Sadly, there are some mutators that can make your stuff less good, especially the ironic fact it's just the 1-point mutator of darkness just coming in and saying, "No, you cannot find your artifacts.
You can trap it.
Suffer."
Yeah, you can trap it on this map.
Fine. Cheese the artifacts. See if I care.
Anyway, how about you? How about you, Tutu?
Because you can trap the artifact. It's S because he's like the tower commanders with his cannons, except that he has presence in front of the ship and it's only 1 unit, maybe a Legion or Avatar. Like you can also go the what's the disruptor, the abrogator, I think.
The Brogators.
Yeah, that like
Abrogator.
mass abrogator with a war prism, and then like if environmental mutator comes, you just hide inside the war prism, and that also works really well against like Avenger or like other stuff. If you don't want to mass cannons, you mass abrogators with a war prism, and you just hide when something bad is coming.
Another thing I like about Zeratul is that your base is static defense, because that's where you mass your cannons. So like when the enemy waves attack, when a mutator suddenly rolls in your base, aha! Oh wait, there's a whole base here that's gonna shoot back at me. I'm dead. So, does that convince you, Sixth Bender?
He's not better than Alarak. I'm gonna keep coming back to Alarak. Because I'm convinced we underplaced Alarak.
Mutator resistant.
Okay, let's do this mathematically. Let's name a mutator that Zeratul is weak against, that Alarak is not weak against. Let's count them off. Mutators that Alarak shrugs off, but Zeratul does not.
To be honest, most of the environmental mutators are going to, if you are not pre-launching ships and you are letting ships launch when the game says, by the way, this ship's leaving without you. How do you respond to that problem occurring?
Cannons?
As who?
Well, no, if an environmental mutator, I should have clarified better. If an environmental mutator shows up, so your cannons are going to get blown up by this environmental mutator. Let's assume it's actually a scary one, like going nuclear. Then you are going to run into the problem of your environmental mutator cannons are going to get blown up, and then you are going to be having to defend the ship with just Legion and Zeratul.
So don't face him all at once?
Protect more. You don't protect like the 50 cannons at once. You protect like 5. And then if a nuke comes, you lose like 3 of them. If you lose all 5, you project 5 more.
Yeah.
And your Zeratul's not going away. He just blinks away and comes back.
Fair enough.
Slim pickings? Does that hurt? I think that hurts Zeratul because he's the one to make cannons.
It doesn't hurt either person really. Both of them don't care too much about money.
Polarity, but it hurts
Polarity.
both.
It
hurts.
It hurt,
oh wait, it hurts Alarak, but not Zeratul because he's the moat guy. To make the
it doesn't hurt Alarak that bad either, since technically Destructive Wave can still yeet enemies who aren't your polarity, so you can keep the infested that aren't your polarity. They shamble forward. Nope, go away. They shamble forward. Nope, go away. They shamble.
But Zeratul covers more than one area at once if there's an attack wave and a ship.
Overcharge kind of does that.
Is wide enough to cover you just stand in front of the ship and cover the entire area because it's that wide.
No. Like the attack wave is from the left and your ship is on the right.
Structure overcharge, yeah.
Yeah, structure overcharge covers that. How about what was I gonna say? Double-edged.
Yeah, that's the big. Well, Alarak, you go die now. Zeratul.
Next cannons.
Less dead. Cannons can still one-shot though, or not one-shot. Cannons can still kill themselves with double-edged.
Or you can actually help your case with the demote dude to make them weaker units to help tank.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so
well, yeah,
that's actually a point for Zeratul.
The good thing about demote dude, yeah, double-edged we do is a point for Zeratul. Double-edged is like Alarak's big Achilles heel here. It's like Tychus and Black Death. It's like Stetmann and I don't know. Propagators, yes. Alarak and double-edged.
All right. So what is Zeratul's that mutator?
Nothing.
Kind of Black Death, to be honest, because
what? No.
You hide in the void. No.
No way.
You hide in the void. You hide in the void prism.
And now you don't have your hero unit. It's.
But you have your cannons.
Yeah.
You have both.
And you have monoliths.
You come out, you swipe a few times, and you go back.
I actually ironically believe you guys are overestimating cannons on Zeratul for once.
Well, if you trap the artifact, you get like 10 by the end of the game.
Yeah. Oh,
And you don't have
exactly.
to. You don't have to kill stuff with the cannons to win. You just have to tank stuff.
Yes, but aberrations have more DPS than an immortal against cannons. So
So phase it the next set.
you're gonna run out of sets if you're just letting aberrations slap you. You will
Devote them.
very quickly run out of sets.
Devote them.
Yeah, you will not have a demote for every ship.
I throw yeah, you can actually, but I throw in some Void Templar just for those guys.
I agree with the Void Templar thing. Honestly, I don't. I find this map actually quite hard without Void Templar for Zeratul. Infested are very tanky.
Okay, we still need that one mutator for Zeratul. That Alarak's definitely gonna shrug off. That Zeratul
Honestly,
will
my
not.
biggest complaint about Zeratul isn't even the mutators. It's just the fact that the map is
Infested.
actually kind of hard for Zeratul compared to Alarak. Like, Alarak shrugs off the map 50 times better than Zeratul. It's not even a mutator. It's the map itself.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that being a case.
Yes.
Is it big enough to dislodge Zeratul from S?
Or just get us 4 S tiers, honestly.
Or just
Yeah,
move
I'm
Alarak
okay
to
with.
S.
Yeah, I'm okay with Alarak and S. I said before, I'm okay with S. I'm
Yeah.
okay with A for Alarak. I almost, yeah, like I said, even with the worst rolls possible, I still almost won it with Alarak. Oh,
All right, he can go up.
all right, there we go. So, but the pertinent question is, how about Zeratul?
Zeratul then can fit into S because it's true. Like, if you try to figure out what mutators actually mess up Zeratul, that's hard to figure out. Does the actual map mess up Zeratul? A tiny bit, but compare them to the A tiers, and yeah, you know.
I wouldn't say mess up, more like inconveniences.
Yeah.
Not even Eminent Domain messes him up.
Yeah.
Because he just canceled the the projection. That's kind of funny. Anyway, rankings. So, who's the second best among the S?
I still think that Alarak's probably better than Stetmann.
No.
Maybe, but yeah, we can put Stetmann above Alarak if you really, you really want Stetmann at the top.
Yes.
Put Alarak second. Then Zeratul, then Tychus. Tychus
Alright.
is the bottom of S.
Yeah.
Agree with this? Alright.
He's not super strong, but he's very resilient against the mutators. He's not like
Yes. Everything just kind of washes off of Zeratul. Alright, for the A's. Who's the best among the A's?
Well, Arcturus starts with A.
Well, Nova ends with A.
Yeah, ends with A, so she's at the back. No, seriously, I actually think Nova's probably at the back.
Dehaka has 2 A's. Karax has 2 A's.
I think Dehaka.
Yes, but
'cause
they're
his
A's in
pack
the
leader.
middle, so they go in the middle. And Kerrigan has an A right before the end, so she goes right before the end. So basically, by the law of where the A is in their name, this is the ordering of A's.
Plus Arcturus is an a-hole. Therefore he's the top of A.
So in conclusion, we have actually solved it.
So wait, who's the top of A?
I would put Dehaka.
Dehaka?
Yeah,
'Cause-
I guess we could put Dehaka.
One dude just holds, and then like you even if he gets nuked or something, you just continue.
Oh no. Anyways,
Alright. I'm okay with that. Who's next?
probably Megskin, then Karax, and then Kerrigan, then Nova. Honestly,
So it's already correctly ordered?
I think so.
What do you think,
Looks
Tutu?
alright.
Looks alright? Alright, there we go. For B. Who's better? Swann or Abathur?
Probably Abathur.
Okay. Do you agree to Tutu?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because we were kind of putting Swann in consideration for A, but okay, if he's B, if he's below Abathur.
Abathur also could have consideration for A though.
Okay. For C, who's the best among the C?
Probably Phoenix.
Yeah.
Okay. Because he
And
doesn't
who's
die.
The worst among C, probably honestly,
Phoenix
Vorazun.
because he doesn't die.
Yeah. And then Vorazun.
Vorazun's the next? Second high C?
No. Vorazun, sorry, I said, and then for who's the bottom, it's
Ah.
Vorazun because of...
Yeah, I'm okay with that. So for D, who's better? Han and Horner or Raynor?
Yeah, this is going to sound really silly, but it looks like we almost accidentally sorted our tier list in the order we placed it.
So alphabetically. It's alphabetically.
It is accidentally alphabetically this week.
Nice. So do you agree, Tutu?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
How about E? Who's worse?
For E as well.
Oh, all right. So there we have it.
Yeah, definitely Artanis better than Zagara. Zagara was the F candidate. The
All
biggest
right.
argument I gave for not putting Artanis in F was because I felt like he didn't deserve to be with Zagara, but if Zagara's an E, then he can't go any higher than that.
Speaking of F, thanks to Vorazun, Arcturus is a giant F.
Yeah.
All right. That's gonna do it for this week, guys. Watch 226 Batters channels. I will link them down below. And I will see you guys next time.